Burger Rippy out here Saturday morning, the final full weekend in June. My neighbor's over there cleaning one of their ponds out. He's got two pans behind that one John Deere, and I noticed it's right behind that pole, and he's going down. Then you can barely see the top of it, so it must be about 10 foot deep when he gets down in there. He'll be digging for a while. Have an excavator, a couple pickup trucks. But they brought in another John Deere this week with a pan, and a dozer was working. Do a lot of ground shaping. See, our lawns are drying up. I'm waiting on the irrigation machine to get turned on by Mother Nature. Been waiting for a while. It's been going north of us. And I was having fun watching people on their cell phones driving by. And one guy looked like he was in the passenger seat asleep. Or I bet you he had his phone on his lap, and then the driver had the phone up in the windshield there and was texting, so they were both not even paying attention to the drive. Sunflowers are kind of where they were the last time, and oh, I'll show you the sunflower over here, but show you too, I mowed underneath the poppies, and let the energy kind of how you're supposed to do on that. But the clematis is in its peak here the final week, and here's a volunteer, which is where Mother Nature would. Here's a volunteer sunflower from some of my seed. I don't buy any seed. Some black sunflower oil seed. I haven't bought that for a while, so that was from my seed, which is a ornamental sunflower. Kind of windy out here, but Monday I planted pumpkin seeds. I planted 6 pumpkin seeds in a hill. A minute ago I threw down fertilizer, 2 scoops, on the corn, tomatoes, and peppers, and I put a few handfuls of Epsom salt down on the peppers and the corn. And yeah, I didn't put any salt on the peppers. And notice I skipped fertilizing the onions. They say when they begin bulbing, which there's a dove. The doves have been hanging out here. And I wanted to do a video on these guys dive bombing me, my martins. I think they had eggs in there. They were really aggressive the other day. So there is some blooming action on the marigolds. I purchased a packet of seed. It was $2.60. Be about $3 with tax, and pickling pickle bush, burpee pickle bush cucumbers. So I put pickles. I used 10 seeds, or 30 in the pack, so I still have 20. And I taped the thing shut and put it in a bag in the house. I put 10 seeds in with the corn in between the rows, hoping. And over here is, I use my milkweed seed, which I have milkweeds a foot tall back at the pond, and I didn't think about it until now. And that's what happens a lot of times. You do something and then you learn how to do it later. And I'm thinking that I planted the milkweed for the monarch butterflies, but in nature they would be up a foot tall by now. So I kind of defied Mother Nature there, so I think I defeated my purpose. We'll see if they come up anyway. It takes a lot of time. I was in here tilling and weeding constantly. You can see those guys are up in that, yeah, they're up way side. Okay, you're supposed to stop watering and fertilizing garlic when it begins bulbing, or onions also. And so we haven't watered. I sprayed some on those flowers some, and I could really see weeds in those flowers. So the garlic's ready to come out in a way. I stopped watering it a long time ago. I'm gonna be out here every day watering tomatoes and peppers, and I'm gonna stop and sweet corn and pickles. And then I'll have a jar with, let's say, pickles and garlic and some brine and some onions. And I'll have like pickles, onions, and cucumbers going, and peppers eventually. It'll take a while. You know, this storm's coming in the right direction. If the wind, but the pineapple is sick looking, and I believe it's a temperature. And I come to find out, talk about doing something in northern later. I should have kept them in the house until it was 60 degrees all the time, because I'm thinking it was too cold for them, and it was in the 40s, maybe even high 30s there in the morning, and that was too cold for these guys, and they had no part of that. They look sick. It was too cold for them. This is a tropical plant. But this these two hot peppers, this one actually has a pepper forming. I don't think it'll be any good, but it's promising. It's going to be fun. There's a cherry bomb. It's green. And this is the one leaf wonder. It got froze out. It got blew over. There was, I mean, just, it wasn't even a fraction of the size of a fingernail. The one leaf that was on that guy, and it made it. But huge scaping action over here. I kind of forgot that they scape that much. But yeah, here's the weeds in these guys that gotta be pulled. Zinnias. These weeds here are my problem weed. That won't take long. Onions almost have like spots on them where that hail hit them. Damaged chives, and the damaged chives that were like sheared off by the hail. We had big hail here, just not sleet, which we had both. And the onions I pulled from the damage were no good, because when I pulled them out, they weren't solid, and that damaged a layer in the onion, and it made them to where they weren't solid, so they went in the garbage can. So there's the 6. I put them in Monday. There's no sign of these. I hope next week to have some action there. If not, I'll stick 6 more seeds in there, and I'll pull them out until I have 1 or 2 pumpkins, and they will take over everything. When the garlic and the onions will be out of here in less than 4 weeks for sure, and that pumpkin will just take over that whole area. The bamboo marks, the 5 over here and 5 over there, seeds I planted for the pickles. They're going to climb the corn, and maybe even the pumpkin will decide to climb something else, you know, and that's okay. And yeah, no sign of the milkweed that I can tell. But yeah, I'm really happy to have some. I was missing the pickles, should have had them in earlier. And everything's going just great here at the farm anyway. Thanks for watching my videos, everyone. Rippy. Garden progress. Final week of June.